So here at my house with my bud, Robert Hollis. How are you, sir?
Wonderful, Ray. Thank you very much.
And for those, maybe this is being beamed through outer space, and you're on a planet that is yet to hear of this gentleman. But he has really crushed it in the network marketing profession, and he's actually helped, I believe, like 44 or 45 people become millionaires.
45 now.
45. It's amazing. And I just want to sit down and hang out with you, man, and ask you a couple questions. Appreciate you being here and coming down and hanging with us. So the other day, we were here with a friend of ours who is in network marketing, and she is amazing. She's awesome.
Yeah.
But she gets nervous telling people about her product, about her opportunity, about network marketing. And you gave her some advice, and I imagine there's at least 2, maybe 3 people on here that get nervous bringing up their opportunity or their product to strangers or even people that they know.
Right.
What is your advice when you encounter someone like that?
Well, when I encounter somebody like that, it's easy for me to go back to me, because when I first got exposed to this, I not only didn't like salespeople, but I didn't like anything about sales. And so my thought always about salespeople were they were always trying to convince you to buy things that you couldn't afford anyway, and they were going to muscle you into it. So for those of you that don't know, I used to be an auto mechanic. So I was always hanging around the used car and the new car salespeople. So of course, when people came on the showroom floor, they were trying to get them in the most expensive vehicle they could with the highest payments, regardless if the person could afford it or not. And I always seen people getting hurt. So my thought was sales are bad, salesmen are bad.
People get hurt.
They get hurt. I don't want anything to do with that. I get hurt on the job. The next thing I know, I'm learning to be a salesperson. And so now how do I shift this in my mind? And so I tell everybody all the time that 100% you're not going to do anything that you don't believe in. And so sometimes we try to convince ourselves that it's okay because other people have done it. They're successful. So if Ray did it, Jessica did it, if other people did it, it must be okay. Ray and Jessica are not hurting anybody. But yet this doesn't come to your belief. You know what I mean? So I tell people, if you believe that you could do it, you'd be doing it. That limiting belief, that thing that's holding you back, that thing that's stuck, you don't believe. So now you got to focus on what you believe in. And so the first thing that I had to do is I had to learn a way to approach people where I felt like I was giving them a value, something of benefit. And I learned to do what I call the $1 million question, which is simply asking people if they could do me a huge personal favor, and if they knew anyone that might be interested in making some extra money, or if you even had problems with the money part, because that's a belief too, right? You know that. Is like if people have weird beliefs about income, making money, then now you're telling them they're going to go become successful, they're not going to do that either. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I don't deserve to be wealthy. Rich people are bad. And so you got to find out where their beliefs are. And so what I did really simple is I found out that you could say, instead of, hey, listen, could you do me a huge personal favor? Who do you know that would like to travel? Or who do you know that would like to feel better? Or who do you know that would like to be happier? Use a phrase that you could feel comfortable asking, right, so that when they then turn around and say, well, what is this? You can look at them and smile and go, why are you interested? Pause. And they're going to say, well, it depends on what it is. Well, do you mind if I send you some short videos that you could look at? And I promise you're going to feel comfortable referring me to people that may be interested in this. If you notice at this point in time, it's impossible to sell somebody on something if you always were asking them who they knew instead of asking them.
Right,
so
indirect.
Yeah, so that's the way I was able to get by it. The second part of that is I got really good at being who I was. I was humble. So if someone says, well, why don't you tell me? I'd say, well, listen, I'm a broke auto mechanic on workman's comp. You need some questions about your brakes or a tune-up. But, I'm working directly with this guy named Ray. And at that time, my mentor was Bill. And I'm working directly with Ray. This guy is incredible. He's a great family man. He's mentoring me and showing me how I can supplement and replace my income. If you watch the videos, because you want to make sure that you only refer people to someone that's actually interested. So through the sorting, I said, if you watch the videos and you have some questions, I'll try to set up a time to be able to talk to your upline, or in this case, Ray or whoever it was. So I always try to help people believe. And when you can hear people say, you know what, I believe I can do that, or I believe that approach I can use.
Right.
Well, now they're going to do it instead of telling you, oh, okay. And then you'll notice that they're not approaching anybody.
Right. So I want to address something, because people that have been following me for a while, I'm positive that some of them are going to ask this question, or were pondering this question, in that they know that I am I'm a disliker of asking for favors.
Interesting.
But let me point something out. So here's what I mean. When I'm every day I get a, hey Ray, can you do me a favor and watch this video? Hey Ray, can you do me a favor and like my page? Hey Ray, can you do me a favor and do this? And so my argument is always, don't ask someone to do something that isn't of value to them. Now, here's the difference between my philosophy and
totally.
what you're saying is, I won't guilt someone into anything. I won't ask, hey, can you do this? And it's all benefit to me.
I totally get what you're saying, because
Right.
I have people always say
Yeah.
to me, hey, listen, could you do me a favor and evaluate this company for me?
Right,
I'm
right.
not interested in looking at your
Right.
company. So
And
that ain't a benefit to me.
That's right. And here's the difference. So when you're asking for a favor, which is very humanistic, right? It's a very humanistic. It's a very human approach. It's a very it's not weird. I should
Right,
say that.
right.
So you're not asking for the actual end result. So you would never advise someone, I think, to say, hey, can you do me a favor and join my program?
Never.
See, so the difference here is I'm very much against asking of a favor to end in an end result, but the way that you're structuring it is a very indirect, very natural, very easy breezy way to hopefully get some interest or get some eyeballs on the presentation.
Yeah.
So
Well,
think it's awesome.
I just like what you just said too, because if you notice in all the parts that I did, they're all done psychologically for a reason.
Yep.
So the reason that I'm sending you a couple of videos to watch is so you'll feel comfortable referring me some people.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
So even that was indirect. Did you catch that? Even
Yeah.
that was indirect.
Yeah.
Not for you to join and blow this thing to smithereens.
No.
Right?
And I think that would follow on probably another video you and I could do is my mentor really taught me to look at everyone as a doorway.
Yeah.
That the people that I was going to find were going to be the people that led me to someone, that led me to someone, that led me to someone. So
And constantly think that.
So the whole
Interesting.
who do you know, I always looked at people like, you're going to introduce me to someone that's going to introduce me to someone that's going to introduce me to my next superstar.
And that is so powerful, to not be addicted to them being the superstar.
Bingo.
Oh, that is good. That's good stuff.
Yeah, and that's what's made me my money.
Wow.
When you
Wow.
talk to leaders that have been very successful in the profession, you'll always find out that their superstars are always 3 or 4 or 5 levels deep.
Wow.
It's usually never ever the person you personally recruited.
Wow. That is so powerful. And not only does that release you from that addiction of why aren't they producing, it says, hey, who do they know? Go deeper. But it also, I think, would take away the, well, you know what? I'm not going to talk to Sally because Sally's kind of an idiot,
Right,
and let's
right.
be honest. And Larry, I don't know. If you look at them as a doorway, as, hey, they may be the person that introduces me. I may see them as a dud, but maybe they get me to that stud.
Right. And I never looked at it any different, Ray, than, again, if I contacted you or Jessica and said, listen, you know what, I'm happen to be in Fort Myers, Florida, and you know what, I was wondering if someone had like a storage facility I could store something in. See, I'm not
Right.
looking at that as being and I just use that so well.
Because you'd be awesome at it.
Yeah, I wouldn't call you up and say, Jessica, could you do me a huge favor? Could you store this for me?
Right,
I
right,
wouldn't
right.
do that.
Right.
See, I wouldn't want to oppose
And then
on
we'd be
her.
like,
Yeah. But it's so much different if I called up Jessica and said, hey, Jessica, listen, could you do me a huge favor? I need to store this thing for a couple of weeks, and then I'm going to come back and get it. Do you know of anyone that wouldn't mind me sharing it? Now, when she comes back and says, oh, I'll store that for you.
Right.
See what I mean?
Perfect.
And I didn't do that that under manipulation.
Right.
I don't do that. I'm really expecting her to share me with someone that wouldn't mind.
Right.
Now, if she steps up, awesome.
So don't be, are you sure? You
Correct.
So,
Correct.
very, very good stuff. Awesome. So if you got some value from this, share and comment. And I think you've been getting an interesting question, and I'd love to ask you this. You've had so much success, and you know, let's be honest, you have had more success in network marketing than I have had, right? And people have asked you why, you know, you bought a coaching day with us,
Yes,
and came down, and we've spent it's somehow turned into a coaching weekend, but
or
he's
coaching
good.
week.
He's good. But why would someone like you do that? You've already had massive success. You've built a lot of millionaires. You have 27 years of proven success inside of network marketing. Why? Number one, did I help you? And
Yes.
number two, why? What made you think that? What made you think to hire a mentor?
Well, in my whole entire life, I've spent millions, not hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars seeking out the best mentors in the world and learning from them. I learned that at a very, very early age. And one of the things that, through watching Ray and Jessica over the last 4 years, I remember when, you know, Ray had a blog that had a $7 thing on it.
That's right.
And the one thing that I always seek out is two individuals. One, and Ray happened to be both of them. One is an individual that could teach me how to serve more people.
Nice.
I want to get to more people. I want to deliver more. I want to help more people in my legacy for the rest of my life. Secondly, I look for a mentor that's helped other people get results.
Yeah.
Get results. Ray has done both. And so when I look at Ray as an individual, and I sort of laugh when I say this, but you guys, I hope, will get some value out of it. After spending a couple days with Ray, I can say that, is that, you know, I'm not doing the things that Ray does to be successful. And it might be things that you think that I would be doing that I'm not. I have 160,000 emails that are not active. They're not conditioned. They're not people that
You're
I'm
regularly
serving.
communicating with.
I'm not
Right,
serving
right.
them correctly.
Right.
I don't have a blog. I don't have a personal website. I'm not selling content online. These are all things that Robert Hollis has never done. Now, I can go through School of Hard Knocks, or I can take the time to learn from Ray.
Right.
And I'm sure that Ray at times probably felt, wow, what am I going to teach this guy? But virtually every one thing that came out of his mouth, you know, from him asking me the key thing that I did on my Periscope today,
Right.
is he asked me, Robert, what do you want? And what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And it's funny, I ask other people, what do you want? But I never ask myself what I wanted out of this. And so the time that I spent with Ray was worth 10 times the money that I spent. For those of you that have been around him, if you haven't stepped up and gotten more of his training and coaching, you gotta. You just have to. You deserve it. You deserve it, and you're worth it. And I'm gonna get some more. That's for sure.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That was too cool, man.
You bet.
So awesome, guys. So thank you. You
Thank you.
went into such detail and was so gracious about that, which is just awesome. So watch out for this guy in a good way, because you know, you're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff. You got a lot of things that there's a lot of knowledge that more people need access to that you have. And I'm excited to help in even a small part in that journey. So I appreciate you, man.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Yes, yeah. So cool. So if you got some value out of this video, feel free to share and comment. Feel free to share it with your teams. Drop Robert a comment and just tell him how amazing he is. Just an amazing, amazing individual. I'm so glad that I met you so many years ago, and just honored to be learning from you as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, man, for sure.
It's going to be a good friendship.
Yeah.
Watch
sure.
out. We're coming.
Yeah,
for
watch
it.
out. Bye, guys. Have an
Bye-bye.
amazing day.
God bless.